Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy holidays. Richie Figs here, back with another video. And today, Anime Pro Festival is here. And, well, Storm Arena, Storm Collectibles showed out. They have a big old booth over there. And, well, we got plenty of pictures. A lot of old, a lot more new. And, well, we're going to take a look at it all. And most of the figures that you're going to see today are just going to be Storm Arena. There wasn't a huge presence of their collectibles line, at least in the Street Fighter, which is mainly what I cover. So we're going to take a look at all that. We're going to see what they're about. We're going to look for the upgrades, and we're going to talk about it. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's go. Alright guys, of course, before we get started, we got to give a major shout out to Mr. Lee, as all the visuals that you'll see today in the video are courtesy of his Instagram. So make sure you go give him a follow. Action figure photography, early first scoops, everything that you want from a figure line, he covers it over there on his Instagram. Again, shout out Mr. Lee. Link to that Instagram will be in the description below. Go give him a follow. Just taking a look at the booth tour courtesy of Mr. Lee, and just know that this thing has been dramatically slowed down, obviously, so I can comment on each figure. And holy shit, this thing looks really good. It's come a long way since the last time we've seen it. It was almost like the gi was black last time we saw it, but you can see it's now in its traditional color blue. It's got a nice black wash on it. Almost seems like it has some white put on it, but that could be just from the lighting. But yeah, this thing turned out really good. It almost seems like the whole head sculpt is different too, as it's not as sharp on like his chin and everything like that. The hair seems to be more of a muted color. But regardless, this thing is looking really well. And I do think this is one of the figures set to be released in the later of 2026, more like Q2, Q3 potentially. As the first figures that we should see next year are going to start off with Dan, and then Charlie Nash, and then maybe, I don't know where the hell Chun-Li is, but yeah, he should be out in the Q2 realm. But you can see how much has changed just within that little time. It almost seems like those gloves got a little bit darker too, but the gi looking good. Everything's really coming together. That necklace almost seems to cover his full neck, so I don't know if they need to tone that down at all. But yeah, this figure looks absolutely amazing. It gets better every time I see it. Now, moving on to the next figure here. Holy shit, was not expecting this. Is we got Zangief in full articulation and paint and shading. They are really coming along and really seem to be prioritizing the Street Fighter Alpha 3 line. They are busting these things out. Last time we saw him, full grayscale, no articulation, blowing fire. Now he's got everything. I mean, this thing is looking phenomenal. They are really starting to bust ass on these figures. Can they deliver them when they say is another question, but my god, I couldn't believe it when I saw this thing. It is looking absolutely epic, and believe it or not, should be releasing about the same time as Jada releases theirs, so that'll be interesting. Now, moving on to this next one, should be the first figure that we see from Street Fighter Alpha 3 as far as new characters come 2026, Dan. And Dan really hasn't looked any different any time that I've seen him at the last couple shows, festivals, cons. I mean, he looks about the same. I know everybody did want, that's kind of cool. If you took off his gi, could have kind of like a little tank top thing going on. He's got like the little black undertone there, so that's kind of cool. I'd be into maybe trying and experimenting that with some photos, but Dan looks about the same. And here we go. We got the con exclusives. Buyer beware. Should the paint fall off, just know that there's no customer service to get those fixed. And you're most likely going to have to buy these off eBay. They run about $69.99 with $20 shipping. So keep an eye out for that. Ryu doesn't really look like a blue. It almost looks like a gray slash, darker white. But regardless, I think I am going to get the Ryu. I really want another Ryu, so I think I will get that one. Time will tell if I ever get that Ken. I do like it. I just don't need a million Kens. But next photo here, my god. Look at Balrog. Holy shit, it's almost like they freaking just scaled down the exact sculpt that they had from the collectibles line. And now, instead of grayscale, he's got some articulation, just no paint. But holy crap. Looking absolutely phenomenal. And that one should be coming out around the same time as the Zangief and Akuma. Now we have Chun-Li here. I had to post-edit in a picture of Chun-Li because for some reason the chroma was like bringing in the background over her, but she doesn't look any different either. I don't know really what's going on. It does look like she's more defined, more like definition there, but she looks about the same. No pre-order yet for her. And then we have Cammy. Now Cammy in grayscale, my god, that figure already looks amazing. The legs, the tone around the abdomen. Everything looking really good. You got the lines already in her outfit, the hat. And then moving on, we got our Mika in grayscale, and she's looking great. Everyone loves her. Why? I don't know. You'll have to let me know in the comments below what her popularity seems to be. But I love the pigtails, man. I like the pigtails. I love her character design. They nailed it. Everything looking good. There's an overall picture of the booth, and you can see not much new Storm collectibles other than T-Hawk. T-Hawk is there, but then everything else that we've seen so far, nothing new there. So that leads to me, what's going on there with the collectibles. We do see Nash. Now, Nash is going to be the one that you also get with Dan in the early Q1 as far as Street Fighter Alpha 3. So he is there. They just didn't really show off anything new there. I am going to have to, post-edit in a shot of him because for some reason the chroma just is bringing out the greens out of nowhere for some reason. So other than that, guys, that is going to be the booth tour. Let's go give our thoughts and overviews on what we've seen so far. That is going to be the Anime Pro Festival booth tour courtesy of Mr. Lee, and you'll notice right away that this was all just Street Fighter, right? There was no Darkstalkers, there was no King of Fighter, there was no Baki, so they really just focused, well, he just focused on all the Street Fighter aspects of the booth, and you'll notice right away that's where it seems like a lot of their efforts and time are going into, because we still have not seen a Darkstalkers pre-order, even though we've seen 2 figures. No new figures, by the way, added to that line as of right now. It was just Morrigan and Lilith. And then as far as Baki, there was one new character there. I believe it was Jack Hanma. And that's just one new character, where we are literally seeing the Street Fighter figures every time we are seeing new stuff. Because last time we saw Balrog, Akuma, and Zangief. This time, and 2 of those were in grayscale, and the Balrog and Zangief. But now we got Balrog in grayscale, but now articulated. We have Zangief in full color paint and shading with articulation from the last time we saw him. And then we're getting 2 new additional grayscales in Killer Bee Cammy and our Mika. So you can tell that really they're trying to push out the Street Fighter Alpha 3 aspect of this. And I think that's where a lot of people are really excited, because that's what I feel like most people are loving most about Arena so far. I do think Baki kind of took a hit with how those figures kind of turned out as far as the scaling aspect. The figure themselves turned out nice, but it's definitely a debatable topic, but a lot of people do feel like that line ended up being a little underscaled compared to the rest of the figures that they wanted to incorporate them with. But regardless, you can't argue that it does seem like a lot of their efforts are going into the Alpha 3 aspect of the Arena line. Now, we're not seeing a lot of new with Dan, CHUNLI, and Nash. I assume they're pretty much finished. The only question that leads to be here is, where's the CHUNLI pre-order? I don't know what's going on there. She did look better, though, this time around. Hopefully, I did remember to put in a post-edit picture of CHUNLI somewhere throughout this video, because she looks really good. It seems like she's got more muscle definition on this figure, which leads me to think she's almost done. But again, if she's almost done, then where the hell is the freaking pre-order? So how it's going to break down to, we are going to do a Storm Arena schedule for 2026, just like we did with Jada. My concerns are with Arena right now are really just, can we get the figures out? How's production? How's quality? Because we look at right here on the screen right now, those are the exclusives. The last time we saw exclusives from any con, whether that was Wonderfest or New York Comic Con, we literally had paint falling off from the exclusives. So the exclusive color that you paid for was literally falling off, and then, oh golly gee whiz, Storm Collectible has no actual way to get in contact with him other than some email that they never respond to on their website. So buyer beware on those con exclusives. I can only hope and assume that they heard the feedback and got the paint taken care of. But again, buyer beware. The next figure that we're looking at for Storm Arena is going to be Sagat. Trust me, I've been checking every day to see if a Chinese vendor has got him yet in stock. I have reached out to a couple of the vendors, and they say they're not getting him until January. So we'll see. Obviously, I do think he'll squeak out and be here by December, but it's going to be December, whether that's mid or towards the end by Christmas. He might just barely squeak in that 2025 window. If not, then that's definitely going to hurt Storm Arena's report card, which I plan on doing a video for them and Jada to let, to see the performance of, what both companies did in 2025. So keep an eye out for the 2026 schedule for Storm Arena, and then also the report cards and how they did for 2025 coming up here on the channel very, very shortly. But yeah, I mean, everything's looking good. That our Mika looks really amazing. I mean, they really nailed that character. And then what we have to look forward to through them is going to be Dan is probably the first one, then Charlie, and then I'm assuming CHUNLI. I mean, she's ready. It looks like, I mean, nothing's changing on her. I don't know what else I'm looking at here with the CHUNLI, but the one thing I can comment on is it does seem like they are very much slowing down on collectibles to where they're really only, I don't think they'll ever fully get rid of that scale. They did announce a nice M Bison from Street Fighter 6 that comes with a pretty cool stallion, and he looks really good. I don't think I'm in on the collectibles line anymore. I just don't want to, even though that's a really cool rendition of M Bison. Who knows? Maybe I'll just get a one-off just to have him, but you can just tell that it seems like all their efforts and time is going into the Street Fighter line, which leads me to believe, like, what is going on with the other stuff? Because we have not seen any pre-orders for Darkstalkers, let alone new characters from Darkstalkers, so I wonder what's going on there. King of Fighter is coming along fine. It seems like that's really the other one that seems to be getting a lot of love and effort, and along is BAKI. BAKI got the Jack Hanma this time around, but you can definitely tell that there seems to be a priority here with the Street Fighter stuff. Now, it is going to be interesting because you do see Akuma, you did see BALROG, and you did see Zangief. Now, Jada is going to get their Akuma and BALROG out, I believe, quicker than Storm, but they won't be far behind, as they should probably see the Akuma and BALROG hit around the May-June time, so it won't be much time to breathe for Jada with those two characters. Now, Zangief and T-Hawk from Jada is set to probably hit in Q3, if not late Q2, where Storm should be wrapping up their Zangief, and their Zangief should be hitting around this time, the same time as Jada, so that's definitely going to be something to watch and be interested in. But the thing here, at the end of the day, with Storm is, can they get these figures out? Can they? I don't know. My confidence in them on a 1 to 10 is about a 6. Why? There's one thing here that no one seems to be talking about, is literally the first figure. I mean, the very first figure, not from Street Fighter, but from the whole Storm Arena property and scale line, BAKI Hanma, has yet to ship from their official retailer and promoter of Storm Arena, Big Bad Toy Store. So, how is it that we are literally getting all these pre-orders, all these characters, but yet the very first figure that you ever showed us from Storm Arena in BAKI is not even shipping from the retailer that you chose to do exclusive business with? What's going on here? What is happening? But yet, Big Bad Toy Store has the audacity to say and put as a pre-order. I mean, granted, they probably just take instruction from Storm on when these are set to hit, but they literally say in Q4 that we're supposed to get those purple figures from the Alpha line. We're supposed to get Sagat, and we're supposed to get, there's one other thing that's supposed to be, and BAKI. But BAKI was announced originally for Q3, all got pushed on, I don't know if we're even going to see him now. So it's like, Storm needs to figure it out. They really do, because it's like, you see, we're getting all this emphasis put on Street Fighter. They're cutting corners. There's a lot of QC stuff going on with their figures. It's like, you can slow it down if you want to. I know you're all excited to try and take over the Street Fighter realm, but in doing so, you also have a reputation to maintain. So it's very interesting on what's going on here, because they definitely seem to be, pedal to the metal, full throttle ahead, but at the same time, we haven't really seen that quality or that time production as far as getting these figures out happen in a timely manner and in a good manner. So the things I'm really going to look at here to end Storm Arena as far as the 2025 year is, do they get the Sagat figure out? Definitely looking at the quality control on that figure. And then, can they deliver what they said for 2026? Because if you don't know, they got about 8 to 10 pre-orders that they have up to start 2026 that are supposed to hit within Q1 and Q2. And you're telling me the very first figure that you announced in BAKI Hanma is not even shipped yet? I don't know. The math ain't mathin', as I like to say so much. It's just not mathing with me. And I don't think that it's going to be any better as far as the pre-ordered satisfaction dates coming to fruition in 2026, nor do they get all these figures out that they claim they're going to get in Q1 and Q2. But with all that being said, time will only tell, because they very well could get it all out in full. Maybe that's what's taking so long, is they're trying to get everything done for the 2026 year, as they have a lot on their plate. I just hope none of it spills off. But yeah, I'm very curious on a few things. Again, the quality, they got to get nailed that down, or that's pretty much going to sabotage the entire line. Where is CHUNLI? Where are the Darkstalkers? Why are there no new Darkstalkers? And can they deliver the pre-orders that they keep throwing out? It seems like almost weekly there for a while. But I can say that the Cammy looks good. The Mika looks good. Zangief is coming along. BALROG's got the articulation. So they are moving. But again, how good is all this if you can't deliver them with quality at the time you say you're going to? Otherwise, it's just like, why even do this? So if I don't want them to be the liars of the community. But right now, that's just kind of, it just seems like, fool's gold. Whatever it's called, but that's what it kind of seems like. They're painting a pretty picture, but then when you get it and you order it in hand, it's like, what is this? So, I mean, there's a lot that needs to be seen, but only time will tell what actually happens here. They're on a nice pace, but as far as their first year, I'll let you know on their report card as far as their grade, but the year ain't over until it's January 1st, so they got time, but a lot of it's riding on that SAGAT, should it come out, and what it looks like and the quality that comes with that. But other than that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. It went a little bit longer than I wanted at the end here, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, shout out to Mr. Lee. Link to his Instagram will be in the description below. I will see you on the next one. Richie Figs, happy Thanksgiving. Later. 9